Welcome back, guys, to another stream. Today we're gonna continue with Indominus Rex. Yeah, sorry I haven't streamed so much lately. I have worked some of the, I've made some work on the Indominus Rex. So let's continue where where I'm at. Right now we have it here. It's coming along a little bit better than last time. Just think we had like foot and hand last time. Now we sculpted a little bit more. I think it's starting to look pretty cool. Yeah, and you can see I've placed the mouth together here, but it's actually a separate object, or not object, just separate parts. So I can drag it down, as you can see. So I am going to do that a little bit later, but not right now, because that's not really being like we're playing this, smart. Just gonna start making some muscle definition. Just gonna take a look at some reference images and start with some mid-frequency. Adjust some of the proportions and stuff like that. It's not super difficult, just doing some progress going forward. That's basically what we're going to do. Then I know we're gonna have to create 16 more of these that go like this. There's 16 more towards here, and then I haven't counted them here, so we're gonna do that today as well. We're just gonna start with some muscle definition. So let's begin. First thing, I'm just gonna find a good reference. Okay, something like, yeah, this should probably work if I take this image and that image. That should probably work pretty well. Okay, so let's begin. To begin with, we just have, of course, the shoulder muscle. You can see here we have pretty sharp, and then we can just smooth it out a little bit. Something like that. Then here we have the tricep. And don't overcomplicate the tricep, because people overcomplicate it, but try to keep it simple. Okay, now I don't want to do this the wrong way. I want to do this right the first time. So I'm just gonna make this part go like this. Okay, let's see how this looks. Something like that should probably work. Doesn't look super correct out right now, but we're gonna fix it. So don't you guys worry. You can see here how it goes like this. Going something like this. And here then, just adding more shape to the overall bicep. Just gonna try to add a lot more shape to this guy today. We're gonna have to look at some anatomy, because here we have the rib cage. I mean, we have this muscle that goes right there. Gonna have to indicate that a little bit better. All of this shape just helps with the mid-frequency and makes it look more believable. I'm gonna have to take a look at the arm a little bit more, how the tricep actually connect, because I'm really tired today, so yeah. Gonna take a look at that. And right here, I'm just gonna connect the muscle, because that's super important. Connecting it up right there. And down here as well. Yeah, just making sure the muscles are where they're supposed to be. Something like this. I want it a little bit sharper, actually. yeah, how are your guys' sculpture going? I hope it's going well. Planning on a new tutorial tomorrow, or like the day after tomorrow, or something like that, you know? So, very very soon a new tutorial is going to be posted. I do not really like how that is going. I gonna need to have to look at more reference. I know it goes like this. But it doesn't look as I want it to look, so that's a little bit confusing. I know it goes like this. Something like that. We're just gonna have it like this for a moment. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on this like shoulder. These shoulders are super important to like nail. This arm is gonna go a lot more towards this area right here. Not this area. Towards this area. Okay, so it's gonna indicate this. You can see here how the shoulder's getting indicated. Okay, you can see it. I'm just gonna like make it a little bit more muscular than it's supposed to be, so all the shapes really like comes through. Because if I just make the shapes like this, or like, oh, I can have a lot and a ton of fat. Like this, all these shapes are just gonna disappear. And right now I need a lot more shapes. We're gonna add more fats in the end, as I usually am doing. I'll take a look at the anatomy real quick. Just need to take a look. Just think I'm getting so confused by the anatomy when it's on a dinosaur and not on a human. I get a little bit confused right now, but that's fine. Let's just take a look. Yeah, it goes like that. Because this part is behind, this part is in the front. They all are connecting towards this same spot right here. You can see it's supposed to be connecting towards this area. I tried to make that clear. You can see how the arms are getting a lot of definition. They haven't that much definition yet. They're just starting to get more definition than the rest of the body. Because, oh yeah, the Dinosaur's arms are just really fun to play around with. Something like this, just adding these shapes. We just need to add them one by one. And then here we have the rib cage area. Okay, I'm just thinking it's gonna take up animal anatomy. So give me 1 second, guys. It's something like this. Okay, I just need to take up my animal anatomy. Animal. Something like this. I need to have that. Yeah, I'm not very technically good with computers, so sorry guys have to see this, but okay. Let's try to make this work. I can see I'm very untechnical. Something like that. That should work. Nice. Okay, I'm just gonna take a look at some like tiger anatomy and stuff like that. A lion anatomy. Just need to find it. Dog anatomy, then we have lions here, perfect. Here then we have, okay, I'm just gonna take a look, because is this connecting? Oh, now I understand how this works. That's the third shoulder part. Oh, okay. I got it. How is this built up? The Indominus Rex has the same anatomy as a human, more. Still has those. Okay, I'm just gonna try to blend this together nicely. This is a very, like, the difficult part of this. Anatomy can be really tricky sometimes. But right here we're just gonna add these shapes. Or at least this one. Wait, I'm so confused. Give me 1 second. Yeah, I'm a little bit confused right now actually. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna take this guy up as well. So I can see some like dinosaur anatomy. So one goes underneath and one goes from above. Okay, I'm just gonna need to take a look at the Indominus Rex here real quick. Let's take a look at the references. Yeah, because we have one there. Oh, okay. I got it. We're just gonna start with building this muscle up here now. Something like this. Then we have this other muscle right here. Or is there muscles like underneath as well that makes all these? Oh, we have this here. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm super confused right now. Trying to figure out how all these shapes are going to fit together. Sometimes can be a little bit tricky, but that's when you learn. Something like this. Just adding that shape there, so we have that shape, because that adds so much. But the tricep here, I do not want to make it like a lion. I don't know if I should, because lions, more like this, is more like going more forward like this. And then this part here, and then we have the shoulder part here actually. The third shoulder part, and we have one shoulder part here, and one shoulder part right here. Because this is very humanized hands and like arms. But they are scary. That's for sure. Okay, let's just take a look. Right here we have like abs and stuff like that. Something like this, and we have the bicep, we have this part that goes. Okay, I'm just trying in thinking like human anatomy. We have just like, I don't know. Yeah, we have like that muscle, and we have this muscle. We have this muscle that goes from underneath this muscle, and then we have this muscle goes on top here and goes around like this. It's just two muscles, yeah. Okay, then, okay, I'm back on track. I'm back on the track right now. Yes, got it figured out. So that's good, that's good. Then we gotta think about the skeleton as well. Gotta think about the skeleton. Okay, so the skeleton. Alright, let's take a look. And look at some normal dinosaur skeletons. I was gonna take a look because I found some images of the Indominus Rex anatomy. So of course I'm going to use a ton of that. And how they make like the anatomy of these dinosaurs. In the like Jurassic movies, yeah, they have human anatomy for the arms. But that's really cool. At least I think. Yeah, it's human anatomy, and then we have this like skeleton part that goes up like this. So we're gonna have to nail that as well. Otherwise it's gonna look really weird. But that reference image I have on my other one. I think I have that on these reference images. Oh, here was a lot better reference images. Great. I just accidentally pulled up some old references that weren't good. Here we have all my references that I looked for and I really like that I really deeply went through and really found great references. This here goes bone right here. I'm just gonna take this a little bit closer. That's bone. Pure bone. Gonna have to add this like spiny area here as well, because all dinosaurs have it. Dinosaurs have it a little bit less, but it still has it. You can see how the tail is like. You need to flatten that out. You can't have like these weird shapes. Okay, something like this. I just try to fix the shapes. And for the head, as a base I used my old Indominus Rex head and I just like smoothed it out now to create a new one that's have better proportions, because everything is about proportions when it comes to dinosaurs like this. So I just remade the head basically. And not from a sphere, because that took a little bit more time, so I just saved some time there. And pretty much it's starting to look pretty scary out, I guess. Something like this. Okay. So the bone right here. We have the bone with muscles on top. You can see the muscles right here. Okay, this muscle is usually going on top right here, because this is going to be crammed together towards this spot, but here we have a lot and a lot of like skin and stuff that goes around like this. Now it's just nailing this, because this is one tricky area with all the fat and all the skin, and then of course all anatomy underneath. Trying to nail this area is gonna be one of the trickiest parts of the entire dinosaur. I'd rather do it too muscular and then tone it down than the other way around, because toning it down is way easier. Okay, I'm just taking a look here now. The legs are really muscular. They look fantastic. They're like original sculpture. gonna have to try to nail that. That's gonna be really, really difficult. Okay, so here is a model of Indominus from the side, but that doesn't look like a correct model. Don't really know. This is a ton of models. Just need to like look at some models, how to make the Indominus and how to not make the Indominus. This is all from scratch as well, so yeah. My Dinosaur is a little bit too muscular right now, so we're gonna have to fix that. But not right now. Because now I just wanna add all the anatomy so I know where everything is supposed to be. Right here. I'm gonna add these not folds, but kind of like skin or folds, yeah, something like that. And here then, here we have this a little bit trickier part where we can just try to make tricep one more like cohesive piece. Just gonna look at my own tricep. Yeah, because it's way more one cohesive piece. Goes more like this. Still has those shapes hinted at, but it's way more cohesive. Since oh, hello, welcome to the stream. Yeah, so we're sculpting Indominus Rex here. So yeah, a little bit tricky, but we're trying to do it. We're working on the arm. This is going to be used for like a very short film, short clip or something that I'm working on at the moment for this channel. Yeah. How are you doing? Okay, let's see or not. Just adding. Okay, erasing these shapes is like devastating to me because I like adding these muscular shapes. I can see that Indominus Rex doesn't have them. So we're gonna have to tone them down in the end. Because otherwise it's gonna look too muscular and it's gonna look stupid. Oh, I see. It's amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm just planning just to work on this. We've not made so much progress yet, but it's starting to get somewhere, I guess. I hope it will look great in the end. When we get down to like scales to this. Great, how about you? Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Yeah, I'm just really glad that I finally can sculpt today. Wanted to continue sculpting with this guy a lot, but haven't had too much of an opportunity to do so. But now I do, so yeah. Let's see here now. We're just gonna try to work on this tricep shape. Right here, we can see this is way too much muscles. Way too much. We just need to like hint at the muscles. Because this isn't a bodybuilder. How like sad it even makes me to like erase the muscles I've created. It's gotta be done, you know? This is like the part that's a little bit more, in my opinion, sad about sculpture, you know? Is having to remove a ton and a ton of these muscles right now. I can see it goes something like this, the muscle as well. But I don't think that makes any sense because I haven't seen an animal with muscle like that. So I'm not gonna make it. But right like this. Yeah, and tomorrow I will probably, tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, I will be releasing a tutorial on how to sculpt hands. And then I'm also very soon gonna like make a tutorial on how to groom some basic hair within Blender. So that's the plan. Okay, something like this. You can see we're adding the skin right here. So super basic, super simple. Then around here they kind of have this like okay, I was wondering if someone wants to get better in sculpting, does he have to improve his own methods or follow more tutorials? Yeah, okay, that's a very, very good question actually, and that depends. I will guess that's you want to improve your sculpture. How like really I can't wait. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And if you have any like tutorial you want me to make, please just let me know and I will probably be able to take a look at it. Yeah, so to improve your sculpting, it's just going back to the fundamentals, okay? So this is gonna sound really dumb, but you know, is it figure sculpting you want to improve or something like that, right? So then it's just going back to the fundamentals, understanding like the silhouette and anatomy. So if you have you should look at tutorials, but you should also work on your own. Because if you just follow tutorials, you won't learn how to sculpt. You will just learn how to sculpt those exact things. You want to work with tutorials and without them. And just make a really nice like combination. But if you're sculpting, okay, I'm just gonna take up an example. Okay, let's see here now. If your sculpting is like on a decent level, let's just take a look at something right here. Let's take this like just a dog that comes with ZBrush. This is like decent sculpting, right? It looks fine. Not super good, but it looks fine. So sculpting is on something like this level, then you don't need a ton of tutorials. You need just to work on your anatomy and your fundamentals. But if your sculpting looks something more like this, you can see there's a ton of shapes, but they don't go too well together. So then you need to watch more tutorials and learn more about, yeah, fundamentals, anatomy, just how to create form. The most important thing is to study human anatomy from like the start. I didn't do so. I just started with dinosaur anatomy and sculpted dinosaurs for 1.5 years. So start with some human anatomy. That's like my tip. Hope that helped. And if you want a tutorial on something specific, please just let me know and I'll try to help you out. Yeah, so I don't recommend to follow too much tutorials. I usually have tutorials in the background sometimes, or I had tutorials in the background while I sculpted, as to get those extra hours of tutorials like in, you know. But no, I really didn't use too much tutorials. I just use anatomy books and stuff like that. Because either way, you're gonna have to take the long road if you want to become like really good at sculpting. I'm working on the long road right now, trying to get better and better. That's just by working a lot of hours. There aren't any shortcuts really. Something like right here we have this like bicep. Somewhat like this. Okay, and then I'm just gonna need these like veins, or not veins, like folds along the neck, like right here, something like this, a little bit later. I actually like the shape of those. I think I can just keep those because they're really easy to like blur out. Then make some real shape from them. Thank you for answering. Yeah, no problem. Hope it helped you. Otherwise, just like ask me to explain it again, so I will try to explain it better. Are you sculpting? I guess it was about you, right? So what do you sculpt? Do you sculpt characters or more like creatures? If you don't mind me asking. Here we're gonna have this like. Yeah, I didn't mention this. The most important thing to like make better sculptures is don't rush your sculptures. Don't like right here. Yeah, now we can add details. You're starting to add all this detail right here. Start from the basic and just add anatomy and just work your way slowly, one step at a time. That's how I'm working, and it's working just fine for me. So yeah. Okay, let's see here now. Let's see, right here we're just gonna add this knuckly part a little bit more. You see, this is just working very slowly for creating a more like cool looking dinosaur. Let's see, this part here is a little bit tricky, but let's take a look at it. First off, I need to find like one good reference image. Okay, I found a reference image for the front right here, so I'm just gonna sculpt that real quick. Like something like this. Going upwards. So I'm just gonna do that area real quickly. Yes, I've been sculpting for 2 months now. Oh, nice! I'm only focusing on characters, nothing else. They do look fine, but not super good. Nice! Great that you just started with sculpting, that's fantastic! Yeah, sculpting is really fun, right? They do look fine, but not super good. Yeah, you know, like, if you want some help with your sculpting, you probably know you can just... I give out, like, critique to people that ask, so you can contact me on Instagram if you want, and I will help you out with some critique to help you improve faster. But yeah, but I always just keep like working on the fundamentals and really take a deep dive, or not deep dive, but start learning some basic anatomy. Have you started learning some anatomy yet? Yeah, but 2 months, that's cool that you've started with sculpting. Do you do traditional sculpting, or do you do more like sculpting in like Blender ZBrush? Something like this. Here we have this part. Here we have this part. It goes upwards like this. Just gonna need to separate these shapes. Here we have like the bone. The bone is super important that I add nicely. But the bone, it's not supposed to go like that, it's supposed to go upwards. So you're just gonna erase those like something like this. Something like this, and then just keep working on all these shapes. Somewhat like this. Just trying to get these shapes like in check. Trying to make the anatomy look better. I do think it looks pretty cool. Okay, so yeah, let's just take a look right here and work on the skeleton. Something like this. Just try to make these muscles here. Trying to make everything blend together nicely. That's the difficult part. And here we're gonna have to simplify a ton of these shapes because this is so much happening. Don't really understand, do you? No? You don't? Yeah. So I'm just gonna take a look at how somebody else have done it. Just try to take some inspiration. To the scales, I can't wait to add all these scales. It's gonna look awesome. But that's way further down the road. Okay, so let's take a look from this side. Yeah, but sculpting is really fun, but difficult, right? Let's see here now. I'm just gonna thank you for suggesting to help. You're a really kind person, and I use ZBrush, and I think it's better than Blender, to be honest. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I think definitely ZBrush is better, but Blender's actually, I think it's fine. It was used like Blender for my first year. Yeah, but ZBrush is awesome. Glad to hear that you're using ZBrush, because that software, you can't beat it, right? Super, super good. Then you're pretty like serious about your sculpting then? You wanna work with it? Is that the plan, or what are your like ideas? Okay, something like this. Okay, and here then we can make that this part right here, that's like this, carving out something like this. We just need this like area where I carve it out. Then where the bone is, we're gonna need to like go like this, and then we have this other area on the other side. Yeah, you can probably see how it's supposed to look, kinda. Yeah, right here just going upwards like this. This is just basic skin, right? And then this is going with the bone. Yeah, something like this. That should work. Just need to simplify this here a little bit more. Yeah, so something like this. Just trying to think how to add all these shapes. Because these is a lot of shapes, to be honest. But they do need their like attention, you know? I do need to add them. Something like that. What made you love sculpting and enjoy doing it? Yeah, thank you for asking the question. Yeah, so I started sculpting because I wanted to make my own like dinosaurs. Yeah, so when I was 13, I just started with Blender and I just loved the process. I didn't understand it technically, but I made progress, and I just felt like I was getting somewhere, and I really like enjoyed it, you know. And then the sculptures really quickly became better and better. Like, I think it was within a month or two, I made something that looked fine-ish for like a beginner, like myself when I was a beginner. Yeah, so that's really like how I started with dinosaur sculpting. And I sculpted dinosaurs for a year, and then I took a year break from sculpting dinosaurs because I noticed that I thought that I knew everything about sculpting dinosaurs, and when you think that, then that's when you're screwed, right? So then I didn't sculpt dinosaurs for a while. Then I sculpted an Indominus Rex head, and now I'm sculpting an entire Indominus Rex. It's always been my favorite dinosaurs, because when I was 10 years old I watched Jurassic World for the first time, and I was blown away. So that's basically why. I hope that answered kinda your question. Okay, something like this. Just I need to just add these shapes. Okay, something like this maybe. And then I don't really know how to make all of these shapes, but now these shapes are starting to be made right here. Gonna have to add these shapes. If I want it or not, I'm gonna have to add them. Because they're gonna make such a big difference. Okay, but right now we are on this part right here. Okay, so something like, yeah, you see how we add all of this like skin right here. Something like this, and then we have muscle here. Just trying to do it somewhat like the movie Dinosaur, but its anatomy doesn't quite make sense in all areas, so I'm getting a little bit confused. Otherwise I think it's great. It's like silhouette and stuff like that's completely amazing. Just got blown away by it, you know. Okay, right here, just gonna make the bicep a little bit better, or like bigger, you know. Something like this, and just drawing this inwards, and then making the shoulders a little bit more defined. Now you're starting to see some more like, how should I say it, like more fat and skin on top. So the shapes are there, but they're just hidden underneath a ton of fat and skin. So that's looking pretty great out actually. If I may ask, what do you like start? Why did you start sculpting? Because yeah, it's a tricky area to start with, right? Are you using a reference to make this dinosaur? Yeah, I'm using a ton of reference. A ton of reference, yeah. So I usually take if I know I'm gonna make a big project like this that can take a couple of weeks, then I know, then the first day I'm just finding reference. So using PureRef and just having a ton of reference on like ostrich, emus, and of course dinosaurs, but mostly like, yeah, ostrich, emus, different kind of lizards, crocodiles, birds. Yeah, I'm using like really like the ostrich legs are super useful for creating dinosaur legs. Reference is key to make something look believable, I think. I hope this will look believable in the end. Right now it looks Not super good out, but it will get there. We'll get there in the end. And then just looking at other people's work, what they have done and what they have exaggerated. Just learning from others. Something like this. I like this like little shape that goes inwards like that. That just makes it look a little bit more believable. Yeah, but reference, yeah, it's can be some a little bit tricky to find it or like annoying to find it, but usually just during like the breaks at school, I'm looking for references, because then it's very easy for me to just start sculpting when I get back home, you know? Okay, let's see here now. From the front like this. Like this, and just sculpting these shapes. Trying to get to the bottom of all of these shapes. I actually take this project pretty seriously, because this has been a project I wanted to do now for a while, like wanting to do this project like seriously for a very long time. Yeah, you can see I like to smooth my characters out sometimes just to see what I think. Something like this. Just adding the bone. Yeah, you can kinda see that some bone underneath here. Just gonna add some more sharpness so I can smooth the sharpness out. Yeah, that's like important. Adding bones. I'm really using the trim dynamic a lot just to make this like planes. You can see here it's a very subtle plane here, and I wanted to exaggerate it a little bit. So make sure that you really take a lot of time to make planes. That's like... Have you sculpted before, if I may ask? Okay, let's do something like this. Okay, let's see here now how this actually look. The arms is looking pretty cool. Pretty cool out. Starting to look a little bit better than I thought. And not having these perfect smooth shapes is really gonna help this dinosaur. Because this is supposed to look scary. So, I need to add a ton of scary shapes. Usually they form triangles. Then from the back here we can like add some small shapes here. Right here, kinda like this. That's pretty good, I think. Then here we have the like the belly here, right? Gonna have to add all of these shapes. Belly shape, that's gonna be a little bit painful to create, because with other ribs, stuff like that, and it needs to have... People think bellies and stuff like that's easy to create, but it's actually pretty difficult. At least I think. Want this like shadow area underneath here so you can see it's a rib cage. Yeah, I just find it really tricky. Okay, and then here in the middle we can just like cut it in half. That sounds a little bit horrifyingly. Okay. For me, I have a story. Okay. Let's see here now. A story, and I want to make it into animation. So I've been learning Unreal Engine for some time, but I needed the characters. I needed the characters to animate, and that's why I'm learning character creation. Oh! Do you know like stuff like rigging and animation and stuff like that as well then, or? That's amazing that you learned Unreal Engine. I have no clue how to use that, so that's really cool. Yeah, but then you probably can do you know some like basic rigging stuff as well? Do you use Blender or what do you use? Yes, do you do your animation in Blender or Maya, I mean. And if I may ask, do you make more realistic stuff or more like cartoonish stuff? What do you like to animate? Yeah, but making creatures, that's an entire different beast, right? Making stuff like this, a complete beast. It seems like a really good that sounds like really cool. Isn't just Unreal Engine just a software of games? No. No and no. Unreal Engine is an amazing piece of software. Creating 2D characters into 3D. Yeah, so then it's kind of like more on the cartoon side, right? I guess. Yeah, but that's cool. Super cool. Yeah, but making 2D characters into 3D, that can be pretty tricky. You can make animation in Unreal Engine. Yeah, you can make animation. You can for the Mandalorian, I think it's called. They use the entire CGI background with the help of Unreal Engine. That piece of software is an amazing software. Yeah, but then you're do you want to work for any specific company or stuff like that? What's your... Yeah, because it sounds like you have a little bit of a plan. Yeah, I can personally animate, so we're gonna see how I'm gonna animate or gonna try to animate this dinosaur for my short movie. I can't animate, so that's gonna be a real interesting story. Yeah, let's see how it goes with that. But okay, I'm just gonna create this line in between here. Help with the shapes. Nope, I'm gonna make my own company then. Oh, nice. Are going to like university or something right now, or yeah, are you going in school or? Yeah, but that sounds like a great idea. Just a lot of work though, right? I really personally want to work for ILM. or like, yeah. Something like this. But then you know, yeah, you probably know the entire process of everything from character creation now then to like final rendering, right? Yeah, I'm just diving more and more into character creation. Because that's basically what I know, you know? Now I'm starting to like this area right here. And that's the most difficult area. Yeah, so really happy that this area is starting to get into place. Yes, I'm studying medicine. This is my first. Oh, amazing! That's very difficult. I know that's like. Yeah, like really good luck with that. So just. So do you wanna like? So you wanna work with any? You're studying medicine like doctor, I guess, then something like that, right? And you wanna like. Then you wanna, in the end, like work with animation. Yeah, sounds pretty cool. Let's see here now. Yeah, I'm just going in like. Yeah, I'm going. Yeah, I'm also going my first year, but first year in high school. So I'm not. Yeah. That's me at least. That's me. So yeah, hope it will go great. We'll see about how it's gonna end up for me if I can get jobs and stuff like that in the 3D industry. We'll see. Okay, something like. This we're gonna have like add some wrinkles. Yes, becoming a future doctor. Nice. Yeah, that's really difficult. That's really good. Really great. But you wanted to make your own like. I'm studying and making characters. I better find time for myself. Lol. Yeah. I know that feeling. Yeah. But you wanted to make, like, a company for characters? Is that correct? Or did you want to make a company for, like, not medicine, like a hospital kind of company, or, yeah. But then you're like pretty serious with characters and getting all this stuff if you have that motivation. Yeah, just remember you can get like free critique from me if you want it on my like Instagram. Just the same, Sculpture for Life. It's my name there as well. Yeah, but it's hard to get time for yourself when you're trying to learn 3D and studying to a doctor. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, I am just hoping that my art will work out in the end. That's my that's how I'm hoping. No, a company for creating games and cinematics. Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah. Yeah, you seems to you have like big plans. That's really great. Go for it. something like this. Something like this. Here then we're gonna have to create this like tricep a little bit better. Here we have this tricep. Something like this. Yeah, but it needs to be real hard with time, like management to do this both stuff at the same time, because studying to a doctor, I understand it's a ton of work, and then 3D, also a ton of work, right? Yeah. Something like this. This arm looks fine-ish now, I think. Like, fine. Just trying to create the shapes a little bit more believable. Trying to make these shapes really, like, stand out and look cool. In the front, something like this. And then here, don't you think starting to learn something new is very hard at the beginning? It's very hard. Yeah, at the beginning it's real hard, then it's like gets a little bit easier, but yes, I hope today was 30 hours instead of 24. Yeah. But it's really impressive. I also wanna like make it in the I just wanna make it in the 3D industry and like become one of the top people in the world of sculpting, but I have some time before I'm gonna start working within the 3D industry. So we'll see about that. Something like this, and here then we have this skeleton. Gonna make this arm look a little bit bigger out. To make it look a little bit bigger, I'm just gonna push these shapes outwards. Like this. Something like this. That should probably work. Okay, so now I think I'm gonna try to work my way through the torso and then to the legs, because the legs I just really want to work on them because I know they're gonna look completely amazing out. Legs, sculpting down through the legs is one of my stronger areas of sculpting because I think it's really fun. Yeah, but sculpting characters, it's real hard, and animation, whew. Yeah, that's difficult as well. I think the face is starting to get a decent, like, base. You can see it's super basic right now, it's like no shapes whatsoever in the face, but just some basic shapes that indicate. Compare it to the arm instead, where a ton of shapes is there, but mostly this part of the arm, there aren't so much on the lower part. So that's okay. Just gonna take a look at the lower part of the arm, see what I can find and what I can make. Yeah, so that's gonna be a little bit tricky, but we'll figure it out. Here then, we're just gonna add these shapes. Add all of these shapes. Something like this. Just gonna see how this is actually gonna. This is gonna look. Something like this should work. Now it got way too flat, so we need to add some more shapes. We need more shapes in the arm, because this is a big, powerful, strong dinosaur. It's gonna have a ton of muscle. And that needs to show through the sculpture. And to show that I know some basic anatomy. Yeah, somewhat like this. By the way, are you sharing your art in ArtStation? Yeah, I am actually. But I don't think my name on ArtStation is Sculpture for Life, but I do have stuff on ArtStation. Let me check. Let me just check here real quick. On ArtStation, my name is Alexander Thompson. I can show you. Okay, let's see here now. Here's my ArtStation. I haven't posted as much here as on Instagram, because here's more like old stuff and some new, but kind of like see from. Don't really like this. This one I think it's fine. Yeah, but I do have a lot of old stuff. I really need to upgrade it a little bit. But that's gonna be happening with time, right? Okay, so let's take a look right here. Is trying to indicate these muscles. This shape here, it really needs to be like separate from this shape, because here is pure muscle, while here we have bone. So here is this little bit trickier part to just separate them. Yeah, so I do have an ArtStation. Something like. They're not fine, they are amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, but it's old stuff. Hope it will do. This dinosaur is gonna look way better. But we've only started with this, so. Yeah, so I do know some like basic 3D. I really like the shape here now when I cut it down like that. That made it subtle, but still really readable. From a lot of angles. Something like that. Trying to add these shapes. Like this. yeah, so yeah, the arm's starting to look fine. Just need to work on this area between the arm and the hand. That's one of the most tricky areas, if you ask me. Super tricky. Takes a lot of work to to make it look fine. So let's take a look here. Yeah, of course we have this bone here because it's a humanoid hand. So we just can add this bone here to the side, like so, and then we're gonna have underneath here is the hand, so I'm not gonna work too much on that area right now, because that's not where we are at this moment. We're going to get there. That's the bone. Yeah, you see we can just take one step at a time with this sculpture. So what's like... It was fun watching talking with you tonight. I have to go for now. Have a nice dream. Oh, thank you so much. Nice to talk to you too. Have a great one. Have a nice like evening or day. Yeah. Bye. Let's see here. That's like coming a lot better. Then here just erasing, not erasing, but taking some of the head away. Like the teeth, just hiding them. Hiding the teeth, because I really want to make good looking teeth. So that's something I'm gonna have to work with. Okay. Here just adding a rib cage, kinda. This really should count. Become like correct. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. Gonna have to do that, so. Oh, we've been sculpting for over an hour now. That's nice. We're sculpting. Let's take a look at like this area. To understand it needs to be something like this, where it goes up like this. Here, I'm just trying to make this work. So we have bone and we have all this stuff. All this stuff that needs to go together. Here we have this like muscle that need to go something like that. But that's not how it goes in real life, so that's something we need to figure out. Yeah, okay. So let's just create these shapes. Something like this. Somewhat like this. We need to make the shape more clear. Yeah, adding these mid-frequencies is the fun part because that makes it look so professional instead of making it look like a toy. So like, yeah. I can hear this like line that goes upwards like this, but very subtly. It's supposed to be a muscle that goes very subtle. Something like that, and then just the skin on top. Somewhat like this. Okay, and now we're just gonna... Yeah, I'm just gonna see how the arms looks like without the hands. Because that's usually like... You can see if this is the arm or the hands that's the problem. I think the arms look pretty nice. Sure, you can get some sharpness and stuff like that a little bit later on, but not right now. I don't think the hands are too bad, but they do need a lot of work. Yeah, but that was everything for today's stream. So yeah, hope you enjoyed it. As always.